All right, so moving on to the next segment. Should Andrew Luck be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame? And this is the hottest take that's been transpiring in the NFL over the last week or so. Andrew Luck is actually eligible to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame next year around this time in the class for the class of 2024. But in my opinion, I do not believe that Andrew Luck is good enough to be an NFL Hall of Famer. And I said this on our social media polls last week. I asked a good question to you guys. Did Andrew Luck do enough during his NFL career to be an NFL Hall of Famer? As a result, 80% of you guys on social media polls voted that Andrew Luck is not good enough to be an NFL Hall of Famer, and I totally agree with you guys. And these are going to be the reasons why I break down why Andrew Luck is not good enough to be an NFL Hall of Famer, starting with longevity. Longevity truly matters if you're going to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, especially if you're going to be inducted as an NFL quarterback. So to me, if you're going to be NFL Hall of Famer, you have at the quarterback position, you have to dominate the league for a long time. 6 years really isn't good enough, despite the fact that Andrew Luck was good. Guys like Ben Roethlisberger, guys like Eli Manning, guys like Drew Brees, guys like Aaron Rodgers, just to name a few. These were running mates that Andrew Luck had in the league at the quarterback position when he was still in the NFL. Those guys that I just mentioned dominated the NFL over their decade. They have won Super Bowls. Ben Roethlisberger 2, Eli Manning 2, Drew Brees 1, Aaron Rodgers 1. That's just an example, and they were at the top of the game. They were the top quarterbacks in the league. And when I look at Andrew Luck's resume, he wasn't in the NFL for a long time, and he doesn't have Super Bowls to show to his resume why he should be in the NFL Hall of Fame. And Andrew Luck only played in a total of 86 games in his NFL career and missed a total of 26 games due to injury, which led him to playing only 6 years in the NFL, having a short career. So, and another reason why I do believe that Andrew Luck is not good enough to be an NFL Hall of Famer, he doesn't have a good enough resume to get into Canton and to be recognized as an NFL all-time great, an NFL Hall of Famer with the resume that he has. Andrew Luck never won a Super Bowl. Andrew Luck never won a conference championship. He got to a conference championship, the AFC Championship game, one time in his career, but he never got past that level. And Andrew Luck went 4-4 in the playoffs. In his NFL career, in the 86 games that he played in, he has a record of 53 wins and 33 losses to his starting quarterback resume, and I just don't think that's good enough to be in the NFL Hall of Fame. If you can't tell me that you won at least 80 games or more, I don't believe you belong in the NFL Hall of Fame. And you only played in 86 games, and you don't have an AFC Championship to show, you don't have a Super Bowl trip to show, and you don't have a Super Bowl ring to show. How's that good enough to me to be in the NFL Hall of Fame? And yes, there's an argument that Andrew Luck was at the top of his game for the 6 years that he played in the NFL. Stats are cute, yes, but that does not get you a spot in the NFL Hall of Fame, and especially if you don't have any rings to show for it. And Andrew Luck, I'm not taking anything away from him. Andrew Luck did have a good 6-year career. If you guys are wondering, it was a total of 6 years because he did retire before his seventh season in the league started. Nearly dating to 4 years ago that he retired during the last preseason game that the Indianapolis Colts had. Retired during halftime. That still doesn't sit right to me. I know a lot of Colts fans out there are still mind-boggled of the fact that the franchise quarterback retired during a halftime, in the middle of a preseason game, during halftime when the team was in the locker room. So, despite that, I do believe that Andrew Luck had a good 6-year career in the NFL. Definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he was in the NFL. But the key highlights to me about Andrew Luck, he did win 4 playoff games. He did have 23,671 passing yards, a total of 179 passing touchdowns, and will always be remembered for how good of a leader he was. He will always be remembered how good of a character he was. Andrew Luck, quarterbacks don't like to get hit, but when Andrew Luck played in the games, when he got hit by defensive linemen, when he got hit by those big edge rushers, Andrew Luck would take a lot of hits in that backfield. And what Andrew Luck did is not what a lot of quarterbacks do, looking in the ref's face, looking for a flag to throw, for roughing the passer, getting an additional 15 yards after the play. Andrew Luck was that guy that had a smile on his face after he got laid out on the turf would pat the defensive lineman on the back and say, good hit, jog to the next play, and carry on with himself like nothing ever happened, or he never took a big hit. I'm always going to remember him for that. His football IQ is really, really fundamental. Really a smart player of the game. He had a strong arm, one of the best arms in the NFL while he was in there. His presence in the pocket to step back and deliver great throws with his great arm. I'll never forget that of Andrew Luck as well. And I can never, every time I think about Andrew Luck, I always think about the playoff performance that he had during the 2014 wild card matchup, which I do believe will go down as the second best, right now, as of right now today, the second best playoff comeback in NFL history, behind Tom Brady and the New England Patriots overcoming a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl that the Atlanta Falcons had. But other than that, I do believe right behind that is Andrew Luck's historic playoff comeback in the 2014 wild card game against the Kansas City Chiefs. In the third quarter, the Indianapolis Colts found themselves down 31-10 in the third quarter. Andrew Luck and the troops rallied back to win that game 45-44. And I do believe that will go down as the second best NFL comeback in playoff history as we speak today. So I always remember Andrew Luck for his good moments in his 6-year career. Definitely a great quarterback when he was in the league, but overall, just not enough to get in the NFL Hall of Fame. So that's how I feel, and I do believe that Andrew Luck is not good enough to be an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback.